Well, here we go. Wild card weekend. What's going on, my friends? Dave Locken with Odd Shopper, and we've got 6 games to talk about heading into the NFL postseason. We got 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and a Monday night game, which, God, it drives me nuts. Yeah, look, yes, I'm being selfish here. I got a 7-week-old kid. Got another one that's almost 3. Why? Who wants to watch the Eagles and Buccaneers on Monday night anyway? Can't I get a Sunday afternoon game? Go to sleep at a regular time, but no, you're going to make me sit up and suffer until 11:30 at night. Maybe the league says we want to get Devontae Smith and AJ Brown healthy. We want to get all these guys healthy. Give them an extra day of rest. Who knows? I don't. Anyway, we got 6 games to get into. Glad you guys could join me for this one and some really good games. Joe Flacco's season, baby, going up against Houston and a bunch of others. So before we get started, do me one solid. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about Odd Shopper. Appreciate you guys getting us well over 100,000 subs in only a short 2 years. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, let me know your picks, as always, in the comments. You guys already know I read and respond to all of them, and any other picks or thoughts that I have that aren't here on the channel, find them on Twitter at Loughy_D or the X, LOUGHY_D. Let's go. Let's kick it off with the Cleveland Browns, the Houston Texans. The Browns laying 2.5 points on the road against rookie CJ Stroud, 44.5 point total. I mean, what a world we live in, right? Where Joe Flacco's favored in the playoffs on the road, and you've got a rookie on a team in CJ Stroud that no one ever anticipated that you could be the biggest truther, the biggest CJ Stroud, the biggest Texans fan in the world. You probably didn't think they'd have a home game in wild card weekend. That's okay. You don't have to lie to yourself, but we know. Nobody thought that Joe Flacco would be here. Here's the thing, though. Do I think the public's going to come in heavy on Cleveland? Probably. I'm going to do the same thing, though. I mean, there's a couple things to consider here. The whole rookie quarterback in his first playoff game, you can say whatever you want. Remember Jared Allen for the Cleveland Cavaliers? That young team makes it to the postseason. They get just wiped out in the first round, and he goes, man was honest at the very least. He's like, the lights were just too bright, right? Is that always the case with rookies? No, of course not. Some of them just have, what do they say, moxie? But this is a Cleveland team where I know I've said it a lot. Their defense on the road has definitely been far inferior to their defense at home, but they just activated Grant Delpit off the IR. Getting him back is massively good news. They should have Amari Cooper. Everybody else should be out there. Myles Garrett is an absolute terror, defensive player of the year, right? And Joe Flacco, say what you want. Does he turn back into a pumpkin this week? Maybe. But everything we've seen thus far in Kevin Stefanski's offense is that this guy has been fantastic. He has unlocked David Njoku, first guy in 7 seasons that's been able to do that. And they've had a lot of quarterbacks. Amari Cooper coming off a game just a few short weeks back against this Houston team where he broke the single season or the single game record in Cleveland Browns history, franchise history. I'm not saying they don't do what they can to limit him, but we have seen this defense for Houston. We've seen some real flaws, some real chinks in the armor there. And I look at Cleveland and I say, you know what? They're still the better overall team. And say what you want. There are some guys on this team with some experience. Joe Flacco, namely, 2.5 points. If this moved to 3.5, we're talking about this differently. But you're laying inside less than a field goal on the Browns. I get that they're on the road, but I will take the grizzled vet in Joe Flacco and what I still believe to be an extremely stout defense in this Cleveland Browns team over a, phenomenal rookie quarterback that's got a long time in this league. But no Tank Dell. Noah Brown's questionable. We don't know if he's going to play. Nico Collins is a stud. I think it's an uphill battle for Houston here. Give me Cleveland -2.5. And then we get to Miami and the Chiefs. Now, I got a lot to say on this game, but one thing I'll say before anything else. It's this time of year. You guys know, those of you who have been betting for a while know this. It's this time of year where sports books are going to throw offers at you, it's playoff football. Let me get them there. FanDuel and DraftKings are doing it right now. What are the odds that you guys are already on FanDuel and DraftKings? 100%? Pretty high, right? Well, BetMGM has one right now. They just launched it. They usually never do this. Usually they just do the first bet insurance. Bet $5, get $158 in bonus bets. If you're not on BetMGM yet, the link is in the description and in chat. Takes a minute to sign up. All right. So here's what you do. The link will take you there. You deposit $5. That's it. Okay. Bet $5 on whatever you want. It could be a parlay. You could go, you know what? I'm free rolling here because I'm getting $158 in bonus bets, regardless of whether I win or lose. You know what? I'm going to try and create a screenshot moment for myself. And I'm going to go balls to the wall with an 11, 12 leg parlay. Normally I'd say never do that, but I'm not even opposed to it, because you think about it. The worst case scenario in all of this is you lose your original stake, which is $5. You get your $158 in bonus bets and you end up losing all of them. You go on the worst run of your life. And at the end of the day, you're down $5. You never lose sleep over something like that. So $5 into $158 in bonus bets. For all you know, you turn it into a four-figure bankroll just by depositing $5 on BetMGM. They're going to get rid of this soon, so if you're not there yet, check it out. Link in the description and in the pinned comment. Must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's go Miami and Kansas City. Now, like, worst injury luck possible when it comes to this Chiefs or Miami team, right? A lot of this isn't their fault, but they are dealing with a lot of injuries. There's just simply no denying that. You've got Tyreek Hill's going to play, but Jalen Waddle, even if he does play, I have a tough time believing he's at 100%. Raheem Mostert is a true questionable in a spot like this. I assume Devon Achane plays, but he's questionable as well. It's the defense. Jacob and I, who helps produce this show, were talking about it beforehand. It's the defense. Xavier Howard's not expected to play. The whole linebacking core is beat up. Losing Bradley Chubb is such a huge loss, to the fact where guys like Bruce Irvin and Melvin Ingram are going to be on the field. Now, you guys already know, I've been a big fan of fading the Eagles and fading the Chiefs recently, because I think a lot of these spreads have just been too big. I have a really tough time, though, going to this Miami Dolphins team, even at +4.5. And another factor, I'm not the type of guy that's just like, cold weather, they can't win, they can't score. But it's going to be around -5 degrees on Saturday night at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. That is concerning. -5 degrees. If Miami won that game against the Bills in Week 18, you know what happens? They got 77-degree temperatures in Miami with a home game as the 2 seed going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now what do they have? Going up against the Chiefs in Kansas City, some of the biggest home field advantage, although we haven't seen a ton of that lately, -5-degree temperatures. I don't like what I've seen out of the offense for Kansas City, but this team has been here a million times. They're still the reigning Super Bowl champs. They still have Andy Reid as their head coach at home. Frigid temperatures, far fewer injuries. I hate to do it, but I'm laying the 4.5 points on the Kansas City Chiefs for all the reasons we just talked about. And of course, leave your comments. Tell me, you think Miami pulls off the upset, pulls out a little miracle here despite all the injuries on defense? I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'll go back and forth with you, whether it's in comments or Twitter. We can have some fun, but give me Chiefs -4.5 and under 44.5. I expect a low-scoring affair here in Kansas City. Steelers and the Bills. I've had such a tough time with this game, man. We got 6 games, I'll say out of the gate, not my favorite. We have a 36-point total. Now, who knows what the weather is going to look like in Orchard Park? Those of you familiar with this, who've been doing this a long time, or maybe even live close to the area, know that the lake effect snow and all of that can throw things off to where we just have no idea what's going on. I mean, at this point, speculating is not. I was just on a daily fantasy sports show on our daily fantasy channel, telling Ben, who's on this channel, I'm sure you know him and love him. I was like, yeah, I swear last year when Miami lost with Skylar Thompson to the Bills in that game, that everyone was like, they have no chance of winning because, and I thought the same, because it's going to be super cold, warm weather team without Tua Tagovailoa, and they lost 34-31. And in my mind, it was like 10 degrees because I remember it was supposed to be freezing cold. And then we looked it up and it was like 28 degrees with no wind. So you just don't know. You don't know. But is it going to be probably pretty cold there? Yeah, low scoring game. Both of these teams play in cold weather, so that's not the concern. But a 10-point spread in a 36-point total game, to me, guys, the way I lean here, and you know, tell me if you disagree. I've made some crazy picks in the past, but it's still really, when it boils down to it, a 50-50 proposition around that when we're talking about a spread. All the spread's doing is leveling the playing field in a lopsided matchup, right? Steelers +10 in a 36-point game, because Josh Allen, despite what he finds ways to win games, he turns the ball over a lot. Another 3 turnovers last games. TJ Watt being out is really tough loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but in a 36 total game, 10 points. If you like the Bills, even though the Steelers are trotting out Mason Rudolph, if you like the Bills at -10, you should probably be looking at the over in this game as well, because laying 10 in a 36-point total game is a lot of points. It's not my favorite, though. It's tough. Steelers offense does stink. There's no denying that. Losing TJ Watt is huge, but 10 points in this game for such a low total is a lot. Packers and the Cowboys. Cowboys laying 7.5 points at home. 50.5 point total here. That's something, isn't it? Now, the Cowboys got the win convincingly last week. They locked up the 2 seed in the NFC, won the NFC East. Eagles just got stomped out by the Giants. I mean, what a joke that is, and we'll talk about them in a moment. But you know what? Jordan Love is like the one guy that I've really gotten wrong this year. Now, I can't say I was entirely wrong. When I said that he was playing poorly, I wasn't wrong. The whole first half of the season, Jordan Love looked bad. But what a miraculous turnaround we've seen from this guy. And I know last week the offense wasn't exactly clicking, but Jordan Love has been excellent. And if nothing else, the one thing I have been willing to give him throughout the year, against the blitz, he's been very good. And he's improved significantly under pressure as well, getting outside of the pocket. Aaron Jones is the type of guy when healthy, he's averaged 5+ yards per attempt in 3 straight games. I don't even care if A.J. Dillon's out there. They have more time to get these guys healthy. Christian Watson, Jaden Reed should be on the field. Not that it matters a whole lot, but you get Musgrave back, so him and Tucker Kraft. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm sure a lot of you Cowboys fans out there feel like the Cowboys come out and smoke them. But the truth of the matter is, when playing well-coached, good football teams, the Dallas Cowboys just haven't run away with games. And that has been what we've seen, right? They've found ways. McCarthy and company, they've found ways to either win these by a hair or just not win them at all. Forget about Washington last week. They're dead. They knew Rivera was gone. It didn't make a difference. But against Detroit, 1-point victory in a game, let's be honest, with the refereeing, they should have lost. Against Miami, 2-point loss. They could have won that game. Buffalo, 21-point loss. When you're playing a good team, I think 7.5 points, 6.5 points, I'd say, you know what, no problem. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. But there's enough that we've seen enough out of this Green Bay Packers team. We've seen enough out of Jordan Love. We've seen enough out of this defense as well. And I also don't want to sleep on the fact that the Green Bay Packers having Jair Alexander back is pretty significant, because we didn't know if he was going to be returning to begin with. And what's the biggest weakness for the Packers? It's the run defense. Well, the Dallas Cowboys have struggled to get much going on the ground with Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle. If you can do a decent enough job of limiting that passing attack with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, to a lesser extent, guys like Ferguson and Brandon Cooks, then you know what? You have a good shot at keeping this game competitive. So getting the Packers outside of 7, even on the road here, plus 7.5, give me Green Bay here on the road in Dallas. Rams at the Detroit Lions. All right, baby, let's go. There we go. 51.5 point total. Heck of a game. I'm going to be sprinkling Rams money line in this one. Rams money line. Now, +3 would be the spot, right? If you're not trying to get crazy. But I think the Rams can legitimately win this game. If you're betting the money line, by the way, always make sure you're shopping for the best odds. You go over to Odds Shopper. We have a lot of premium plus EV tools over there, expert picks, the premium Discord, all of that stuff. Link down there if you ever want to join us. I swear you'll love it. I know you will. But our odds shopping part, where you can see all of the live lines, live odds for all of the books, that is free. And I went over there, and BetMGM has this at +150 for the Rams money line. You already got your $158 in bonus bets on a $5 bet. Why not throw this one into a parlay, or even bet it straight up if you're looking to be conservative? But I think the Rams are just uniquely positioned in a spot like this to really compete, even if you're looking at +3. I like the Lions. I think Dan Campbell made some of the dumbest decisions on earth last week, and then dug his heels in even after Sam Laporta got hurt. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown went down with the ribs. He should be fine. Kept the starters out there. We're still throwing late in the fourth quarter. I don't really understand the thought process there, because you guys want to know something? If your team comes out rusty in the playoffs because you didn't play your starters in week 18, maybe you get a little bit of criticism for that. But if they come out and lose this game because Sam Laporta got hurt and they got other guys injured, you'll never live that down if you're Dan Campbell. And I'm a Dan Campbell fan. But also, Sean McVay is a phenomenal coach, and they have taken a team that we thought was left for dead. You know, there was a lot of speculation this year that they could have the worst offense in football alongside the Arizona Cardinals. But no, they've taken guys like Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp coming back and getting healthier. and turn this into a high-powered offense that's concentrated around 3 players that Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay are getting the ball to. And the Lions' pass defense, a real struggle for them. There's no doubt in my mind that the Rams keep this game close. If they don't, I would be very surprised. So +3. And I like the Lions, but the loss of Sam Laporta, we're talking about a rookie tight end that is shattering like every record. You know how significant that is on 3rd down? You know how significant that is in the red zone? 10 touchdowns? That's huge. So now you're leaning on like what? Brock Wright or Josh Reynolds or Jamison Williams, who hasn't shown anything yet, or Khalif Raymond? Outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown and the obvious talent in the backfield, that's tough. Give me the Rams +3. I'm sprinkling +50 on that money line on BetMGM as well. And now we wrap things up with Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Bucks, the Philadelphia Eagles. My God. I mean, the Bucks just won last week. Good, because we laid the points. I didn't think it would happen like that. What did I say? Like 17-7? I did expect a low-scoring game. But 9-0? We'll take it. Carolina's offense stinks. But Baker Mayfield's clearly not healthy right now. This offense is really struggling. You know, they squandered a lot of opportunities, couldn't put points up in a divisional spot against the Saints the week before that, scored 9 points against the Panthers that have absolutely no future after the trade they made to land Bryce Young. Yeah, they got into the postseason. But then on the other side, guys, you know, we faded the Eagles. We have made money fading the Eagles recently, right? Arizona, we took Arizona. We took the Giants. We should have taken the money line last week, really. We took the Cowboys. We took the Giants the other time they played them. Like 4 or 5? We took the Seattle. No, we didn't. We lost there. So what? 4 straight weeks fading the Eagles. We've won. I'm going Eagles this time. I know it sounds crazy, but I found some 2.5s out there. And I still think, despite all of you're like, what are you talking about, Dave? How can you take the Eagles now? How can you take the Eagles now after we faded them throughout the entire remaining quarter of the regular season? Well, Sirianni, and by the way, the Carolina Panthers are looking to interview Brian Johnson, their offensive coordinator, for head coaching job. What? I mean, you brought on Miles Sanders, paid him like $25 million to play Chuba Hubbard over him, and now you want Brian? Please, take him. He's all yours. He's all yours. Whatever we need. What can I do to help get him over there? I'll fly him out myself, and I'll pay for the flight. My God. But I still like the Eagles here. I still do. I still think there's more talent on this team. When it all boils down to it, Tampa Bay can't really stop the run. This defense has struggled themselves, and we expected them to be better than they were. The Eagles' defense is absolute Swiss cheese at this point. There's no denying that. But Baker Mayfield is not playing healthy right now. It's clear. We saw it the last couple of weeks. It's very evident. And Nick Sirianni is hopeful. This is why I would wait on this one, because we need to know about A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. But Sirianni is hopeful that they'll have them. If we have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert and DeAndre Swift out there, and Jalen Hurts is good to go, I'll still lay the points on the Eagles inside a field goal at -2.5. And as they lose on Monday night, and it is 11:30, and I know I will now not get any sleep yet. Just deal with me complaining for a second. I will look back on this and say, I'm a moron. But for now, Eagles -2.5. Appreciate you guys hanging out as always. Hey, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up. If you ever want to come join us over at Odd Shopper, check out all of our Plus EV tools that have been making people a lot of money lately. Please do. We'd love to have you. Say hi in the Discord if you join that. Everything's included. Everything's included. So good luck this week, guys. We'll catch you back here for the next one. Peace.